Hi there. Okay, first of all, I apologise if there's an issue with the audio. I haven't charged the batteries for my interface because I thought I was going to be using my new interface today, but I've discovered that I'm missing the right size audio jack. So I'm still on the old interface with batteries that may go flat. I've got other batteries on hand, but they're actually only half charged. So let's just cross our fingers and hope we get through this without issues with batteries. So, welcome in. This is a new case that has just come about, and when I saw about it, I just thought, oh my gosh, I have to look at this case. This just looks so sad and so disturbing. And there's a few Casey Anthony elements to it, if you ask me. So on the screen in front of you is a post from the Enterprise Police Department, but I will actually run that through to the proper poster that they've put out, so that's a bit bigger. This is Genesis Reid, so she's 2. Oh, I haven't got I thought I had the poster there, but anyway. Genesis should be turning 3 in March, and that's her mother on the right-hand side. And yes, I'm allowed to sound a little bit disdainful towards her because it sounds like she's a piece of work. So they live in Enterprise, which is in Alabama, and I've got a map which I will show you shortly. And let's move on to a photo of Genesis rather than looking at the mother. So the mother rang the police at 3 o'clock in the morning to tell them that her daughter was missing. She claims that she went to check on her and she discovered that she wasn't inside the residence, and she said the door to the home was found open. Now, who goes to check on their child at 3 o'clock in the morning, for starters? Like, that just doesn't add up at all. But she lives in a very large community, so a lot of her neighbours have come forward and basically told investigators that they haven't seen Genesis for a very, very long time. So there is something really, really screwy going on with this case. I don't think we're going to see a good outcome, which is just more than a little bit frightening and a little bit upsetting. In terms of background, her father apparently lives a few hours away in Florida. And while I'm speaking, I'll just go through to the map that I've got, which will show you. Whoops. Okay. Sorry, messing up there. I'm trying. Too ADHD to not have everything together. So Enterprise really isn't that far from Florida. If you're familiar with Maddie's case, it's not far from where Stephen Stearns is going to be spending the rest of his life, because he's somewhere near the border there. I can't remember offhand. But the father lives in Florida, a few hours away. Apparently this woman has 2 other children. She has a 14-year-old boy and a 9-year-old, which I think is a daughter. Someone has suggested that she put the 9-year-old up for adoption. I don't know if there's any truth in that. One thing that has been said by a number of people is that apparently the father last saw Genesis around Christmas time, and he's been trying to see her since, and Adrianne has been making excuses as to why he can't see his daughter. So he hasn't seen her since Christmas. There's a lot going on in this case. Apparently she is now currently detained and they're talking to her about this case. It seems like from the very beginning, investigators did not believe her story. And obviously, when you've got neighbours saying this is all a lie, that's certainly going to make you question things. There's some footage that I'll show at the end, minus the audio, where one of the neighbours did multiple live streams while the police were there and everything. It was certainly eye-opening. I'm not putting the audio in because I'm just not going to put it in. I need to be careful about what I say here in terms of, I don't want to say anything that's going to offend people, but the footage is definitely eye-opening. The neighbour filmed what appears to be the FBI removing a bunch of evidence from the apartment. So I think we're going to see some progress with this case pretty quickly. Things that are being said by the neighbours are things like that. One neighbour says that apparently this woman doesn't own a car, and this neighbour would quite often see her and her daughter walking to the shop together, and she hasn't seen that for some time. Another neighbour said he ran into the mother in a shop on Valentine's Day and asked her where the daughter was, and she said, "I don't know." And you have another person claiming that her daughter used to play with Genesis, but she hasn't seen her in quite some time. So this is sort of, I will zoom out in a minute to show you where, but the apartments are surrounded by a lot of woods. And there's been searches in the woods around there. Neighbours are claiming, or they actually shared a photo of this really manky looking old mattress, but we don't know if that's got any connection to the case whatsoever. But there has been a focused search by investigators in the woods, and investigators have actually asked people to not go into that area. So that's all closed off. So someone has come forward now. So they also said that there was a car seat found in the woods. Someone has come forward and claimed that the car seat was actually theirs that they threw away. So that may not have any connection whatsoever to the case. But they've closed off the woods. They've asked people not to go there because they don't want them they don't want them impacting on the investigation. In other words, they're looking for evidence and they don't want people to disturb any evidence by the sounds of it. I'm going to zoom out a bit because there's a lot of wooded areas in this area. If you just look at it, you can still see sort of middle of the screen where the Apache Drive is, but there's still a lot of wooded areas that she could have taken her to. That said, it sounds like this woman doesn't drive and doesn't have a car. So I think they're going to be focusing in the immediate area when it comes to their search. I'm going to play a news story from yesterday. It doesn't have all the information, but I think I've updated you on most of it, except for this Moira, or whatever her name is, who to me sounds like it's a made-up story, like Zanny the nanny with Casey Anthony, but I'll get to that towards the end. Okay, so this is the first. Oh no, that's what the apartments look like. There's multiple buildings like that. And then let's listen to this news story.
Tonight about a missing 2-year-old girl in Enterprise. Police say the search is ongoing and the #1 objective is to bring Genesis Reid home safely.
However, indications are that police suspect her mother lied about her disappearance. News 4's Jacqueline Lambert is in Enterprise with the latest on this case. Jacqueline?
It's been about 14 hours since Adrianne Reid called police and reported her toddler missing. She says little Genesis Reid was not in bed this morning, and the door leading outside of this Apache Drive home was open. An intense search began, and police pleaded for public information. Then came neighbors who say they haven't seen Genesis in weeks. One man told me that he saw Adrianne on Saturday and asked about her daughter, and the woman said she didn't know where Genesis was.
In the morning hours, we completed a number of searches of the area in close proximity to the residents here. We are trying to leave no stone unturned. Unfortunately, we all want results now, but it does take time to get these things.
Sheriff's Office and police continue to work this. If someone knows anything about this child, it is very important that you come forward and share. And I think we've seen some of that today with the neighbors talking to the police officers and answering their questions.
Enterprise Police Captain Billy Haglund says he saw no immediate need for a massive public search. However, if the need arises, that will be organized officially by law enforcement. Another thing police are asking is that if anyone has seen Genesis within the past 30 days, that they please call the Enterprise Police Department. While police wait to sort out that timeline, that does add to speculation that something may have happened to Genesis earlier than what was reported. Of course, Genesis was first reported to be 3 years old, but her birthday is next month, making her 2 years old. Live from Enterprise, Jacqueline Lambert, your hometown news leader.
Okay, I'll pause there. Now, I have got the story up on my screen with my iPad, but I haven't experimented with sharing my screen from the iPad. And as some of you know, I had a bit of a moment last night where I lost the cursor from my MacBook onto my iPad and couldn't get it back. So I don't want to try that while I'm doing a live stream. But the latest information we have is that the mother has been charged on a felony charge over false reporting. So I'm just scrolling through this article. Like I said, I don't want to ruin the live stream and lose everything. So I am just going to scroll through this article while I'm sitting here. A lot of what I can see here. Police said they do not have a confirmed date when Genesis was last seen. Yeah, Mouse agrees. I'll put this on reader, that makes it easier. Through their continued investigation, police developed enough probable cause to arrest Adrianne Reid on a charge of making a false report to law enforcement, alleging imminent danger, Class C felony under Alabama law. She hasn't been given bail yet. Police said they plan on asking a judge to set a bond higher than the standard amount for a Class C felony, citing the status of the investigation and additional facts uncovered, though they declined to provide details. They have multiple agencies. Sorry. Mouse has really got something to say about this case. They have multiple agencies involved, and they're repeatedly saying that the other family members are being cooperative. Officials also addressed what they described as misinformation circulating on social media, urging residents to rely on updates from police department and provide tips directly to investigators rather than posting speculation online. There is certainly a lot that's been said online, that's for sure. So I'm going to play the press conference that was done yesterday. That is without these updates. It is without mention of this woman, Moira, or I'm not sure how they're pronouncing it. So I'll play the press conference first, and then I will get to the updates. There's always a bit of a lead in with these.
One focus here is to find Genesis. I know it's been reported, and I've seen Facebook commentary about things going on. Obviously, we can't comment on all those things right now, There is an investigation that's going on, but the most important piece of that investigation is trying to find Genesis alive and well and bringing her home to her family. So we're asking the public and the media to please get this message out. Share the poster that got put out on Facebook this morning with her picture. And if you know anything, don't hesitate, like that alert said, that went out to our immediate area.
I'm just going to say, this is the first time in a case that I have seen a public prosecutor on site this early in a case. That says to me that they straight away were seeing red flags, because it just let me know if anyone else, any of you, have seen a public prosecutor on site and doing a press conference. But the guy, the skinny guy that's talking at the moment, is the prosecutor. The guy off to the side in the t-shirt is the head, the sheriff or whatever, something like that. Apparently he'd been out doing searching himself. So it just seems really unusual. Maybe it's just a different way of doing things in Alabama, but I've never ever come across an instance of having a police prosecutor, a public prosecutor on site when they are this new into a case.
Contact Enterprise Dispatch and share that information so that police can track it down. It's important, though, they don't need spam calls. They need hard, concrete information so that the officers that we have on scene can do their job and not get flooded with stuff that's not relevant to what's going on here, which is the search and investigation into this matter.
So we provided deputies on scene at the time. We had canines on the ground, and we will continue. So yes, just reach out to the public. If they got any information to help us, we're reaching out to you guys to try to get some more answers.
I wonder what sort of canines they had, if they actually had cadaver dogs or just tracking dogs. Yeah, Grover, when it comes to cases where they know out and out that it's a murder, then you do say see DAs come out. But at this point in time, the information that the mother had given them was that the daughter had mysteriously vanished from the house. So, they hadn't named it up as anything criminal or anything like that at this point in time. So it really stands out to me.
We thank you for what y'all have done so far. The community's come out, supported us 110%, and we thank y'all for that.
Just the same thing the sheriff and the district attorney has said. Any information that's available, obviously, that needs to be sent to the Enterprise Police Department. Our agency is here to support Enterprise Police with any resource we have. We're prepared to do that until we hopefully find this child.
Yeah, well, is there a special needs, autism or anything like that would be no? So as far as able-bodied would be. And what about custodial, a non-custodial situation? Sometimes that happens.
We can't get into everything,
Right.
but there's no evidence at this point in time that this is any kind of dispute between parents of the child.
And have we?
I find it odd that they're asking, is the child special needs? She's only just about to turn 3. Yes, she has needs. She's not going to be able to fend for herself. She's certainly not going to get out of her bed, wander out the front door that she wouldn't be able to reach, and wander off into the woods. So it's a bit of an odd question, but I guess I can understand where they're coming from with that. It certainly makes me feel, from the way they're talking, though, that we can see the direction this case is headed, and it's not in a good direction.
To confirm her age, is it 3 years old or 2 years old?
All I know is 3, so it could be different. I haven't been told any different. Have you been told different?
People
You
are,
have?
yeah.
Okay.
People are saying 2 years old.
She may.
So people have now come out and said that she doesn't turn 3 until March. I think I might have mentioned that, but the mother told the sheriff that she was 3.
Just about to turn 3.
Okay.
But she's right in that 2 to 3 age range.
I have a question. Does the mother say, was she at home when, I guess, the child went missing?
That's what she said.
And are
That's interesting. Did you hear his answer? Was she at home when the child went missing? And he said, that's what she said. So he's not confirming that she was at home. He's just saying that's what she said was the case.
Is the father also in contact with you all?
We have contacted all the family members that we have discovered that are contactable. So several family members, and they are all working with us. We have a good relationship right now, and they're helping us tremendously.
There's also been mutterings of people wanting to start their own search parties for her. Is there anything you want to clarify to the public about that?
I don't think we're at the point right now to have mass search parties. We're trying to target certain locations. If it comes to a mass search party, we will certainly ask the public for help. But there's no reason right now to just show up and form your own. We will ask, and when we've asked in the past, we've had great response to that. So
They've now come out and said that they don't want people coming to search. So that again shows us exactly where this investigation is headed. I just want to comment on the number of looky-loos driving past. Like, when you see the amount of people outside the apartment, this will make sense.
We will organize that search party.
how's the mom doing?
what's that?
How is the mom doing?
I don't know. I haven't spoken with the mom in quite a while, so I can't really say.
That's curious. This guy is the sheriff, and he's saying he hasn't spoken with the mum in quite a while. So I don't know if she's not on site, or if she's not being cooperative, or if I believe he actually went out and was searching the area as well. So it's possible that he's just been busy working and thinking, I'll get to her because I know that we're going to charge her with something. So there's no point in asking details in terms of information that could actually be truthful, because it sounds like she's not been truthful from the beginning. Yeah, she probably won't talk. I mean, given that she's come up with this whopping great lie, and now we have this Moira person who's probably been made up, none of this is looking any good at all.
What about the response from the neighbors? They've been out here for quite some time. Talk about what that means to have a community that's that concerned.
Yeah. We're going to try and work that out pretty soon. So I don't really have an answer for you.
You'll see in a minute why he's laughing. Like I said, I'm not going to play the audio because I don't think I should be playing it on YouTube anyway. But I could see that for law enforcement, the cluster of neighbours could be extremely problematic. There were so many people outside. You had the father, many people from his family by the looks of it, the grandmother of the daughter, and I believe that I will show you in a minute, there was a young guy pacing and looking a little bit odd, and I believe that was her son. I may be wrong, but I'll get to that.
They've been very cooperative. Really have.
And I would just say from our standpoint, as the sheriff's office and police continue to work this, if someone knows anything about this child, it is very important that you come forward and share. And I think we've seen some of that today with the neighbors talking to the police officers and answering their questions.
You can stay out here all night if you have to. I mean,
Exercise your right to remain silent. Well, at least.
No, it was not meant for you, officer.
Yeah, I think so. We will provide additional updates as we get them.
Thank you.
We don't have anything else but what we have right now. Like I said to some of you earlier, our first updates will be on our Facebook page for a media update, and we will send out a media release after that. But if you need something, the most up-to-date thing, it will be Facebook currently. The media release may follow, but I don't know how long it will take to be put out on that, okay?
So the Facebook page is the Enterprise Police Department. So for anyone who wanted to find it and follow it, that's where I got this latest update. I'm not wearing my glasses, and I didn't realize how small this was going to come up on the screen, but I will try and get through. So this is the update that was up this morning. So it's probably about 3 hours ago that it went up, 3 or 4 hours ago. I don't think they've mentioned here about the arrest, but they have said they're continuing their investigation into the disappearance of Genesis Reid, a 2-year-old girl who was reported missing around 3 a.m. Monday from her home on Apache Drive. Sorry. Like I said, I'm not wearing my glasses, so I'm trying to read. But anyway, 3 a.m. Honestly, that's just insane. Like, nobody is going to be checking on their children at 12 a.m., flicking on a light, or at 3 a.m. Sorry, just a bit of sarcasm there. So, according to investigators, the child's mother told police she went to check on her and discovered she was not in the home, which is what I've said before. The mother told police the door to the residence was found open. As the investigation progressed, detectives conducted multiple interviews and determined the child had not been seen in several weeks. So, my glasses are under my desk, but I can't put them on when I'm wearing my headphones. I have to figure that out a bit better. So I'm just going to squint and read. Several weeks, that makes it really hard for an investigation. If it's been that long since something happened, a lot of the evidence could be gone. So that is really disturbing. Police confirmed she is being detained for questioning, and now we know that she's been charged. Hasn't been released yet. And then we have, they are seeking information about Moira, described as a black female who frequented Levels Bar and Grill on Daleville Avenue in Enterprise, as well as areas in Ozark. And I haven't looked on the map to see where Ozark is, but presumably it's like the next place over. Police said if Moira or anyone who knows her has any information or connection to Genesis or the child's mother, they should contact. I can't see, it's gone under the screen. That's great. Enterprise Police Chief Michael Moore said numerous local, state, federal agencies are involved in the investigation, and it looks like that includes the FBI. I'm not sure if CART teams are FBI, which are basically your teams that come in when there's any sort of major missing children's cases, because they've got the experience there. But certainly they've had a lot of people on site, and I'll show you that soon. So many agencies are involved, and the community has poured out its love and care for our children, Moore said. Now, had I been intelligent, I could have actually just read this off my iPad, but I'm partway through now, so I might as well just keep going. We have a large large search party out today. Moore said, if you're not part of that party, we ask you remain out of the search area. So they definitely don't want people anywhere. Okay, give me a moment. I'm just gonna, I should have it here on my iPad at a size that I can read. No, I don't, because I deleted it before I sent it over onto the Mac. Anyway, things that I'm learning from live streaming. Not good to try and read it on a teeny weeny screen. And again, they're stressing that they want any information, even the smallest bit of information could be something that makes a difference. So it sounds like they're really onto this case. It sounds like she is going to go down in a big way. I think there is one more news story that I'm going to play, and then I'm going to show you the Facebook.
Mysterious.
Sorry. Then I'll play this, and then I'll play you the videos from Facebook. But like I said, I'm not going to play the audio. I just don't think it would be a good idea for me to play it on YouTube.
Circumstances surrounding the disappearance of a 3-year-old girl in Enterprise. Witnesses on the scene claiming the girl hasn't been seen in weeks.
WDHN's Robert Smith is live in Enterprise with the latest on the investigation. Rob, what can you tell us?
Yeah, hey, Joe and Jess, I'm here in Enterprise where law enforcement has been searching for well over 10 hours looking for the missing 3-year-old. And right now, this case is still pretty active. Since before daybreak, law enforcement and concerned neighbors have been searching for the whereabouts of 2.5 to 3-year-old Genesis Nova Reid.
And we've been up since 4 o'clock this morning, literally standing outside with the police since 4 o'clock this morning. Ain't nobody went to sleep, ain't nobody went, and we all been standing out here waiting. That's our biggest concern, man.
I just have to say, what you're seeing right now is nothing compared to what was on the videos that I'm going to share. This is, I don't know if they've rounded them up and had them move to a different area, but this is really low key compared to what was on Facebook.
This baby home, bringing her home safely.
Law enforcement officials say the child was reported missing from Meadowbrook Apartments on Apache Drive by her mother Monday morning. She noticed Genesis was not in her bed and the door was open. She was last seen wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas.
During the morning hours, we completed a number of searches of the area in close proximity to the residents here. We are trying to leave no stone unturned. Unfortunately, we all want results now, but it does take time to get these things.
Coffee County, Enterprise, and the State Bureau investigation are helping with the search. Although Genesis' disappearance was reported Monday morning, some neighbors say they haven't laid eyes on her.
Did you notice how they had crime scene booties? Although it's interesting that they were wearing them outside, because usually they don't put them on till they enter the premises. But certainly they were treating it like a crime scene. The fact that they had FBI there already, and that was forensics going in, no doubt about it. And you saw a bit there where they were bringing stuff out, but you will see in these clips where they're bringing boxes of stuff out of the apartment. What I'm curious about is, and I will play more of this in a moment, but just while I remember, how can she on one hand say that the child went missing, just kind of vanished from the house and the door was open, and then bring in this Moira person or Mariah person or whatever somehow? Like, oh my gosh, this woman really is another Casey Anthony by the sounds of it.
All this year.
She like my niece, and I'm really into her. Like, her mama bring her up there every day with me. Like, I ain't seen that baby since Christmas, but that's my friend, so I would never, go against what she say. I'm thinking like, hey, my friend trying to get her stuff together, and that's where the baby at. But my biggest concern is getting that baby home.
Another neighbor.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but that was one hell of a performance. She did the fake crying for 2 seconds, and she says, "I haven't seen her since Christmas, and this is my friend, so I don't want to I don't want to, say bad stuff about her." But and then she goes on. Um, like, honestly, insane. Um, Hi, Bonsa Sheila. This case is really new. The mother reported her missing Tuesday morning. So for us, Wednesday. So it is like, really, really new. Hang on, no. Because it is Wednesday here. It's new. It only came up about yesterday, basically. We're basically into day 2, but it looks like the child has been gone for at least several weeks.
Wish to remain anonymous says she saw the child this year, but it's been well over 3 weeks ago.
The last time we have seen her, about a month ago, she used to walk up and down the road with this child and everything, and now all of a sudden now the child is missing.
Another neighbor on the scene told us how he ran into the mother at the store last weekend on Valentine's Day, and when he casually asked where is Genesis, who is normally with her, he says the mother responded, "I don't know," and walked off.
We're trying to get a timeline and would appreciate that information. We haven't necessarily stated that Genesis has been missing for 30 days, but that's what we're asking everybody is to provide that information.
Now, I'm still here at this scene. As a matter of fact, law enforcement just left this scene. We had a lot of neighbors from the apartments looking across the street in this wooded area that has been taped off pretty much since I've been here earlier today. But the law enforcement were in the woods looking and just searching to see if there was any kind of evidence relating to this case. Now, law enforcement did put out a be on the lookout for Genesis earlier today. They say right now they are not requesting any massive search groups to look for her, but they are encouraging people, if you have any information regarding this case or her whereabouts that could lead to her whereabouts, please contact the Enterprise Police Department. We're live in Enterprise tonight. Robert Smith, WDHN News for the Wiregrass.
Okay, so I will be pausing along the way, but as you can see, so the doorway in the background must be her apartment, and there are people just bringing out boxes and boxes of stuff. So it sounds like they have just basically completely packed up a whole heap of stuff from the apartment, maybe the child's entire room, and they've taken it all. It's interesting that it's just boxed. It's not like put into proper evidence or anything like that, which is curious. This young guy in the front, I've heard suggestions that he is the 14-year-old son. If that is the case, it is a little bit alarming because his behaviour is just a little bit disturbing. Something's not right with this kid at all. But you're going to see now, I think the guy in the white t-shirt is like an uncle or something, but you're just about to see the crowd that was out there. The language that was going on here was just disturbing, and it seems like they were all just gathering outside to watch what was going on, to give their commentaries, and being very, very loud about it. So the father had actually turned up, and you're going to see him in a moment just getting really aggro, like arms going everywhere. He was not happy. So whatever the home life of this little girl was, I don't think it was a good home life. It just, and I'm not saying anything about the community, I'm saying about the people around this little girl, because it seems like that is the father, which you only briefly saw. That woman is the grandmother that you can see with the red hair, but you can see the body language with the father. He's just getting really aggro. So it was it was really full on. I can't remember the site on Facebook. I scaled all this down so it would fit properly. But there was just this massive crowd, people being really loud, lots of language, and it sounds like this was just going on for quite some time. I'm going to pause it there because I think I was showing you the bulk of it. Oh, I don't need to pause, that's it. So that's where we're at. There's not a lot of information just yet, but what we know so far is, to me, it's really alarming. I don't think this is going to have a happy ending at all. Like I said, I get Casey Anthony vibes in terms of this mystery woman. And I hope we're not going down that road again. But it certainly looks that way. This poor little girl, I mean, she's been gone for how long? We don't know. And if she's been gone for as long as they're saying, then investigators are behind the 8 ball already. It's going to make it extremely hard for them to find all the evidence they need. But at the same time, I think they're going to, by the looks of it, I think they are going to go at this hard. The fact that they're already charging her for lying to them says to me that they are just going to continue to push and push with this case. I hope it's not something that goes on, and I hope that she's found really soon. No, the parents haven't done any interviews. I think it would have been extremely interesting if someone had done an interview. It sounds like the mother was lying low. All those Facebook videos that there were, I didn't hear anyone mention the mother, or I didn't hear anyone mention, oh, look, there's the mother. It seems like the father wouldn't have spoken at that point in time because he was just clearly so riled up. So we haven't heard any interviews from anyone connected to the case yet. Would be very interesting to hear some interviews because it would help us to suss things out a bit. But yeah, it's not looking good. I think we already know the outcome of this case, and it was one that I thought I just really wanted to jump on and do a live stream with. I don't plan on doing Wednesday morning live streams just because my schedule, it kind of doesn't always fit in. But I did want to jump in on this one. Nature Walks, you're not being slow. None of us know how long she's been missing. The mother claimed that she was missing at 3 a.m. on Tuesday the 16th. So she checked at 3 a.m. in the morning, apparently discovered she was missing and reported her missing and said the front door was open. But from hearing what everyone else is saying, it sounds like she's been missing for at least 2 or 3 weeks, possibly longer. Sounds like she's not been seen by anybody else for at least 2 weeks. So, yeah, your guess is as good as mine when it comes to how long she's been missing for. It could be, it could be a few weeks, it could be a month. If the father hasn't seen her since Christmas, then, we're talking about about a 6-week period of time that we could be looking at here, which a lot of evidence could be lost. One neighbour claimed that she saw this woman burning something a few weeks ago, like burning items, not anything like that. That's not been verified, but it sounds like this mother has issues. I'm not sure what her issues are, but it sounds like she does have issues. And I think there's going to be a lot of things that come out in this case that's going to be heartbreaking. So I'd like to say let's be hopeful, but I think at this point in time, all we can hope for is justice and that this beautiful little girl gets found. Anyway, I will keep you posted on this case. I think we're going to have lots more information coming out very quickly based on how quickly they've acted already. So I will definitely keep you up to date with anything that we find out. Now that I've got my MacBook, I can do these impromptu live streams where I bring you things like this rather than having to spend hours working on a video to put it out. So that's a win. Now, I'm going to ask before we finish, if you've not hit the like button, could you please hit that like button? Because this is a new case and it's going to need a bit of help getting it out there into the algorithm. If you are somebody watching on replay, please leave a comment because that also gets it out into the algorithm. So huge thank you to everyone for coming. Sorry that Mouse got a little bit enthusiastic about this case earlier on. It sounds like he is also very much about justice for these children. Thankfully, he's now gone into snooze mode, which is a good thing. So I'm going to finish it there. It's a slightly shorter live stream, but this is all we've got so far. I will keep you up to date with anything new that comes about. So thank you. I will be going live same time tomorrow with some stuff for Jack and Lily. So if you're around, pop in and have a listen. But I should also have another video going out tonight, which would be tomorrow morning if you're in Canada and America. So thank you, and I will catch you in the next one.